So we're going to jump into this because I'm really curious about what it means to eat more clean and how you define that. But before we jump into that, tell us a little bit about your journey. How'd you get doing this?
So I grew up in an immigrant family's household. My parents and I migrated to America when I was 10, and my mom cooked.
So you migrated here when you were 10?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must have been a really challenging.
Yes, it was.
Talk about a culture shock.
Very much. And I initially was just like, what has happened to me? This is terrible. I want to go back to what I knew.
Yeah.
But I think 10 is also easier than, say, teenage years or a little bit older. So I think I adjusted. After a couple years, I adjusted pretty well. My mom made Indian food every single day growing up, and I couldn't wait to get out and go to college and sort of experience, different cuisines. Went to college and sort of opened my eyes to the different kinds of food out there. The one thing that my parents never ate was sushi because of the raw fish aspect of it.
Yeah.
And one of the first months that I was at college, I tried sushi, loved it. And so I sort of just kind of had my eyes open to the cuisines that were out there in the world. That fueled my appetite to want to cook and eat different kinds of foods. So I entertained friends. Even like when we had our small apartment, my roommate and I, we would have friends over. She would do the dishes, I would cook, and I would
That's a pretty good deal. I'd sign up for that in a heartbeat.
Well, she got free food out of it, so of course. And then so did our friends. And that sort of fueled me to keep trying new recipes and just keep at it and learn things about food. And it doesn't just have to be one cuisine is what sort of I took away from that. But in the meantime, I was still getting my bachelor's degree in human resources. I worked in the corporate world as an HR person and quickly learned that it was not for me. I wanted to be creative. I wanted to make food and just, have people enjoy the food that I was making. And I, as a part-time hobby, I went back to school, to culinary school. And after that, coming out of that, I realized that was my passion. So I started Local Green Eats in 2009 and have sort of just kept going with it. I've moved a couple times to Germany and now here at Atlanta.
Wow.
And just have Local Green Eats been the backbone for me. My business, it's my passion, it's everything. And as you said, it's a personal chef and catering company, but I also do cooking classes.
So you can equip people how to do this.
Exactly.
You can do it for them at kind of an individual or family level.
Yes.
And then sounds like even weekly.
Yes.
And then you can also do bigger events.
Right, exactly.
Wow.
I've got an event that's actually coming up tomorrow. Funny enough, tomorrow I've got a cooking class in the evening and I've got an event for 40 people that I'm catering. And the event is all fajitas and tacos and Mexican inspired. But then my cooking class is Build a Better Burger.
Build a better burger. You got to say that 3 times fast. Build a better burger. Build a better burger. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I could be up for that class.
I
can build a better burger.
Yeah.
I can do that. This is great.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. So I love this because not only can I sense you're passionate about this, you're also an entrepreneur. I mean, you've had to kind of figure out how do you bring this to the world.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah. And I love it. I tell everybody that I found my calling and, the career aspect of the world, but I love what I do. And so I'm glad that this is what it is.
Okay. So real quick, before we move into our topic.
Yeah.
I often have people that listen or even come on and you have this big desire to make this shift to something they're really passionate about and leave kind of their corporate world behind.
Yes.
Would you have any pieces of advice for them?
Absolutely. I say try it out as a, side hustle, as the keyword is these days. Try it out as a side hustle. That's what I did. I did culinary school in the evenings while I still had my corporate job. And then when I got my first client as a wedding catering, I said, I like this, but I can't obviously quit my job. And I kept catering events once in a blue moon in the weekends and sometimes evenings. And that sort of really helped me build my base, my client base. After about 6-7 months of post-graduation from culinary school, I had enough clients that hired me to do catering, or I also had one of my catering clients say, I want you to cook for me as a personal chef. I had no idea what that was before, but then I realized that they want weekly meals from me. And that turned into, from one client, she told 3 people at work, they hired me, and that turned into more clients that wanted to hire me not only for catering, but also personal chef, weekly meals.
Entrepreneurship 101, folks. Entrepreneurship 101. So what I love about that, too, is a couple things. First, with your side hustle, you started picking up clients. You got yourself a client base. You kind of built your bridge. So when you were ready to walk on it, there it was.
Right.
Definitely speaks to the importance of referrals,
Right.
right? Because if you do good work, people are going to refer you.
Absolutely.
But the other part I love in this was you didn't go into it thinking you were going to be cooking weekly meals.
Yeah.
But it turns out that was a need that you could meet.
Exactly.
You're like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Customers will pay for this.
Right. I mean, if you had said to me you're going to be a personal chef before culinary school, I would have been like, what are you talking about? Because I only imagine being a chef or some cooking in some capacity as just a caterer.
Yeah.
And so when somebody said to me, I want you to make my weekly meals, I said, oh yeah, that's a great idea. I love to cook. And this allows me to be able to cook for my clients regularly.
And you make their life easier and healthier.
Absolutely.
So it's like the best of both worlds.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fantastic. Yeah, it's funny. I often talk on the show because I work and bump into so many different people in so many different working environments, whether it's higher education or nonprofits or schools or big companies or small companies. But everyone has two big things at play for them in life right now. Time's our most precious resource, and everything is urgent all the time.
Right.
So to have someone take something off their plate,
Absolutely.
no pun intended, maybe a little pun intended.
Just a
That
little
was
bit.
actually really funny.
That
I
was a
did
really
not
good
mean to
one.
do that, actually. That was really good. But to be able to have that done for them and make their life easier is a great thing.